So currently within the homicide unit, I'm part of the a small group of cold case complex. Within that cold case complex, we work cold cases, of course, and more complex cases that come up in the city, and I also train the new detectives.
And how many homicides have you covered over the course of your career?
Since I've been in homicide, close to 500.
And how do you become, what is a lead detective?
So a lead detective is what we call a primary detective. That detective takes charges of the case and works the case from the beginning to the end.
And what does that entail, being the primary detective, as far as your duties are? You said you lead it from the beginning to the end. What does that mean?
So that starts with the preliminary investigation from the crime scene. Over the course of the investigation, talking to witnesses, collecting evidence, and of course, if you're able to come up with probable cause to bring it forth for a judge.
And how many homicide detectives?
Will you just lean into the microphone? They're having trouble hearing you on the
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need her to re-ask the last question? Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. What was it?
Yeah, I believe it was how many homicide detectives are there with APD?
It's close to anywhere between 18 and 20, and that number usually fluctuates between 2 or 3.
And how is it decided who will be the primary detective out of those 18 to 20 detectives?
So we have what we call a homicide rotation.
And how does that work?
So let's just say 1 through 18. If you're number 1, then you're up on call until a homicide comes up in the city. Once that homicide comes up in the city, if it's not too complex in nature, it'll go to that first detective, and then that detective will rotate to the bottom, and it just rotates that way.
And is there a particular zone that you cover as a homicide detective, or is all of city of Atlanta full together?
It's the entire city of Atlanta.
And were you holding the same position on July 4th of 2020?
Yes.
And were you up on the rotation?
Yes, I was. I was actually off that day, and I got the call.
And what was the call that you received?
I got a call that there was an 8-year-old shot in the area of the Wendy's, 125 University.
And what did you do upon receiving that call?
At that moment, I collect all the information I can, all the preliminary information. This particular address was in what we was calling the autonomous zone because of the protests. I was also advised to that location was not safe to go, so I had to go to a different location where we were what we call staging.
And what was that location that you had to go to?
That was University and Metropolitan.
How far away from University and Pryor was that location?
I'd say about a half a mile, maybe less.
And how long, at the time when you were responding, first of all, what time did you receive that call?
I believe it was 10:20 p.m.
Did you know the name of your victim at that time?
Not at that exact time, but I knew it was an 8-year-old child.
And you said you were at Metropolitan and Pryor, so University. How long did you remain in that area?
So we had the stage in that area where we had to request what we call our TFOs. That's our tactical field officers to come in that area and secure the actual crime scene. So I stayed there till about 12:30, between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. So it took them maybe 2 hours for it to get safe.
2 hours from the time that you got the call, you had to wait until a tactical team kind of finished doing what they needed to do to secure the area before you could go into University and Pryor.
Correct.
Do you know what's going on over there at that crime scene during those 2 hours?
Yeah, so like I said, that area it's called a autonomous zone. Back in May, we had the George Floyd riots, which affected the city of Atlanta. After that, we had a couple of incidents involving law enforcement and the civilians. And this particular one was Rayshard Brooks at the Wendy's. And of course, riots followed that with the Wendy's burning down.
And in that particular area, had there been any shootings prior to this July 4th date after the death of Rayshard Brooks?
Yes, there were multiple shootings in this area before my homicide occurred.
So was there a concern for you guys' safety?
Absolutely.
And you said there was a lot of riots in the area. Kind of describe what a riot is to you.
So it's basically civil unrest, and that can be at the heels of anything that happens with the government, where you have a group that either starts to destroy property. In this particular incident, Rayshad Brooks was involved in an officer-involved shooting where he was killed. In return, as a result of that, they burned down the Wendy's and then pretty much occupied that area.
Were police, to your knowledge, were police going into that area of University and Pryor after the death of Rayshad Brooks?
To my knowledge, yes.
Did you ever have to go there prior to July, between June 2nd of 2020 and July 4th of 2020?
No, the only time I would have to go over there, of course, if there's a homicide. And when I had my homicide, that's why I had to go.
And you said this was around 12:30 a.m.
Correct.
We've now moved over to July 5th at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you get over to University and Pryor, what do you observe?
So there were cones and barricades. There were police officers, of course, standing by, restricting all traffic, pedestrian and vehicle. There was a group of tents where the more hardcore protesters were also still occupying in the parking lot of the Wendy's. And so there were several individuals, even at that point, were still trying to sweep and clean up the area. We had to give orders to stop at that point.
Why
for
did you
them.
give orders to stop?
They were compromising the crime scene.
What does that mean?
So they started moving things. It appears that they were trying to sweep everything away from the Wendy's area, everything away towards outside of the street. And by the time we got there, they were still trying to sweep like shell casings and things of that nature.
So do you know the evidence, was there evidence on that scene?
Yes.
Do you know if that's where that evidence landed or was at the time right after the shooting occurred?
No, after the shooting occurred, the evidence in particular was definitely moved from that location where it was the original shooting happened.
And you indicated that there were barricades that you saw when you arrived in Combs. What was the locations of those barricades and homes?
So you had a portion of the barricades, let's just say the west side barricade, that blocked off one portion of the street. You go down about 60 to 80 yards, and let's call that the east side of the barricades. There was another set of barricades that blocked that street off.
Do you know where those barricades came from?
Yes, I believe they came from when the Wendy's was burnt down. Those barricades were put up around the Wendy's to keep pedestrians and people from entering that area. I believe they utilized those cones that was left over from that.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Is it speculation?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's the barricades were definitely left out there by the city to block off their Wendy's.
Okay, overruled.
And when you say they were left out there, kind of where? Let me show you what's already been marked into the state's evidence 30A.
Oh, is it up?
It's showing on my screen. And 30A, do you recognize that? Is that the area we've been talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Originally, when the barricades were put out in front of the Wendy's when it was burned down, where were those barricades at?
So the barricades were in this area here. Do I need to get up and point here? Or?
Actually, it's a little, Mr. Bobby.
Oh, okay. Got it. So the barricades were placed around this Wendy's parking lot. to keep pedestrians and things to get out. Because the Wendy's had been burned down, it wasn't a safe area to go into.
Those businesses that's depicted in State's Exhibit 30A, what's the distance between them? Does it look like it does in State's Exhibit 30A?
No, it's actually a lot closer than that. I would say 15 to 20 yards, maybe go close to each other, especially the package store, the BP, the Wendy's, of course, is right next door.
As, I don't know, where I'm standing at, is that close or further away?
I would say probably from here to the door.
Did anyone else respond to that area around you?
Yes, we have our crime scene tech units respond. Of course, we had to have our tactical units respond and secure the area.
And what happened when your crime scene arrived?
So once crime scene arrives on the scene, me being the lead detective, I walk with the crime scene techs and try to identify as much evidence as I can. Once we identify it, we start to mark it.
Do you do anything else besides marking?
Yeah, usually there's another detective available, and I ask them to do what we call a crime scene sketch.
So marking, crime scene sketch. Anything else did you do?
Photographs, and of course we collect the evidence.
And I'm going to show you what's marked on State's Exhibit 34. And if you could, I think it's a little eraser that you push. Is that, in State's Exhibit 34, is that how the scene appeared when you arrived?
Yes, that is correct.
And where are those barricades and cones that you talked about previously?
They're on the side where the Wendy's parking lot is.
Were they on the side when y'all arrived?
By the time we got there, they was already pushed back to that side so we can clear the street and make way for the crime scene.
And then State's Exhibit 38. And I'm sorry, what vantage point are we looking at on State's Exhibit number 34?
So that's facing east on University. So if you do an overall look, you have 75 to the back, and you're going forward on University.
And then State's Exhibit number 38.
And that'll be facing west on University, going towards Interstate 75.
And then I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 42. Can you tell us what we are looking at in State's Exhibit 42?
Yes, you see the placards are on the street. Those placards are marking evidence.
How many placards are on there? And if you can touch the screen again and circle everywhere you see a placard.
From this picture, that's what I can see so far.
And do you see a placard that's numbered?
Yes, the placard closest on the screen is placard 11.
Can you see the numbers on any of the other placards?
Well, the picture is kind of blurry, so I can't see the numbers, but I definitely see the placards.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 57 and 57A.
Yes.
Do you recognize States 57 and 57A?
Yes, these are the vantage points we just looked at. Exhibit 57 is the eastbound lane, and Exhibit 57A is going west, and that's going towards the interstate.
So when you say the westbound lane, what side of the road would the Wendy's be on?
So we're facing 75, it'll be on the right side.
And what side would, coming the other way, which side would it be on?
The left side.
And do those states 57 and 57A, do they accurately and fairly depict that area that we've just been talking about?
Yes.
Is there any difference between what's in states 57 and 57A as what we saw in states 34 and 38?
No.
Is it a different time of day when those are taken?
Yeah, this is during the daytime, and the other pictures at nighttime.
Did you, as part of your investigation, did you go back out to the scene in the daytime?
Yes, I did.
What was the purpose? Why did you go back out during the day?
So, of course,
I'm sorry, you're not asking states 57 and 57A be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to those two?
No, I haven't seen those pictures.
Okay.
I thought I gave them over to defense before I started.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, they're admitted. You can publish.
Thank you, Your Honor. And 57A, is this the westbound or eastbound visual that we have?
that's going to be facing eastbound.
And then 57A,
It's going to be facing westbound.
and you indicate that you put placards out in that area at that time. What does those placards indicate?
It just notate the evidence that was found at the time it was found and documented.
And what evidence was found in this area?
We have ballistics, spent shell casings.
Spent shell cases, anything else?
We had spent shell casings and a couple of live casings.
Do you recall how many spent shell casings that were recovered?
Yes, there were 7 5.56 spent shell cases and 1 223.
And you said live rounds. What type of live, how many live rounds were found?
I believe it was 3.
And do you recall the caliber of those live rounds?
They were the same caliber.
What, and did you learn where the shooting had occurred in the course of your investigation?
Yes, in the course of my investigation, I was able to determine where the shooting occurred.
And is that depicted in State's Exhibit 57A?
Yes.
If you could please circle that area where that occurred.
Actually, got to go back to the other side. Yeah, so it's going to be. The shooting occurred in this area here, and it looked probably a little bit further back, but it occurred in this lane there.
And where were those casings that you indicated were located at the time that you came on?
On this side of the street.
The second circle is where the casings were?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I think there were a couple of other, were there other markers in I think it was State's Exhibit 48, I can't remember, that indicated where some evidence was located?
Yes, you had some evidence across the street, also in this area, and of course over here in this area.
Was there anything in that yellow line at all that was recovered?
Yes, I believe marker 11 was over here in the yellow line. And this, my direction's a little backwards. This is a little closer up, but this is the viewpoint. If you're sitting in this lane, this is what you're looking at. Yes.
Can you kind of describe what the street over there, university that we're looking at right now? When I say that, is it a flat area, is it a hilly area, is it an incline, a decline?
No, so in this particular area, there's a decline. Pretty much it's a slight hill going down.
And could that affect, let me ask you this, are you familiar with how shell casings would eject?
Yes,
If fired?
yes.
And can you tell us how that occurred?
So the shell casing ejects from the right side of the gun, and it's a radius of usually about 13 feet. And of course, other things play into where the shell casing lands, like objects that it hit. Of course, inclines the street and everything, so it's not going to land in the exact space, but that's usually the radius that it will eject.
Because if the street is on a decline, will gravity affect where the shell casing may go?
Absolutely.
What's going to happen with it?
So in this particular area, if a shell casing is ejected, naturally it's going to roll down the hill because of the gravity and the incline.
And to your knowledge, those 2 hours before you got there, I know you said people were sweeping stuff and moving stuff. Is that going to affect where the shell casings originally landed when they were fired?
Yes.
What about, was there any traffic in that area prior to you arriving?
Yes, there was a lot of foot traffic and vehicle traffic.
Is that going to affect where those shell casings would be?
Yes.
So we don't know where you found them, does not mean that that's where the person was standing when they fired the weapon.
Correct.
And you said it was 5.56s and 2.23s. Do you have experience with weapons
Yes, I have a little bit experience.
as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you familiar with what type of weapon would be able to fire a 5.56 and a 2.23?
Yes, an AR-15 rifle, assault rifle.
Objection, Your Honor. May we approach?
Yes.
Open this case.
Your Honor, I would like to object to this firearm or being demonstrated or shown in front of the jury. There's no firearm that's associated with this case.
What's the purpose of the?
For demonstration purposes only. And what is in state 60M?
This is a AR-15 assault rifle.
And just for the jury's sake,
Pick it up.
say, is it locked?
Yes, it is safe.
And is that the type of weapon that would have been able to fire those 5.56 and 2.23s?
Yes.
And is there a strap on State's Exhibit 60M?
Yes, it is.
Is that the firearm that you recovered as being the murder weapon in this case?
No, it's not.
Okay. It's just an example of what that looks like? Okay. Thank you. I was asking State's Exhibit 60 and you for demonstrative purposes only.
While on the crime scene, we always, and of course, in the attempt to some type of canvas. That's where we walk around and try to find witnesses. At that time of the hour, the businesses were closed, but the witnesses that were still left at the crime scene, there was like zero cooperation from them.
How long did you stay on that scene?
I believe I left around 6 o'clock in the morning.
Had you learned about the location of the victim that had been shot at that location?
Yes, she was at Atlanta Medical Center.
Did you go out to Atlanta Medical Center?
Not that at that time, no, man. I was on the crime scene.
Were you still on duty on the crime while the victim was at Atlanta Medical Center?
Correct.
Do you start receiving calls when you're on the scene?
No, we get calls all the time.
Did you get another call while you were on that scene?
As far as shootings, yes, that particular night, I think we had 25 people shot. On our crime scene, of course, we had a mass shooting at Edgewood.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. What is the relevance?
I'll be asking about his involvement in that as part of this investigation.
Is that all over now?
So while we were on that scene, we had 16 people shot on Edgewood, and at that time, 2 deceased.
And is that Edgewood and what?
Edgewood and like Auburn in that area, it's like a entertainment district in downtown.
Is that Zone 6?
Zone 6 and Zone 5, it borders each other.
At some point in time, did you become involved in that shooting at Edgewood?
I do.
How did you become involved in that shooting?
I was asked to assist the investigator go over video.
And while you were going over that video, did you find anything in connection to the case that you were the primary detective on University and Price?
Yes, I saw my suspect from my scene on video in that crime scene.
And what was that individual wearing? Well, we'll get to that. Detective Shepard, as part of your job duties, do you go and do autopsy observation when you are investigating a homicide case?
Yes.
Why do you do that?
We like to go to the autopsies. We like to understand, of course, what caused the death, what type of injuries, and the path of the injuries and things like that.
At this point, did you know the name of your victim?
Yes.
And what was her name?
8-year-old Secoriea Turner.
Did you attend the autopsy of Secoriea Turner as part of your investigation?
No, I couldn't go to this autopsy.
Why not?
I didn't want to see a child in that state.
Did you learn the results of that autopsy?
I did.
And did you learn what was the cause of death?
Gunshot wound to the back.
And did you learn whether or not any physical or ballistic evidence was retrieved during that autopsy?
Yes, they was able to pull a projectile out of her back.
And what was that caliber of that projectile?
5.56.
Is that similar to the 5.56 shell casings that you found on the scene of the shooting?
Correct.
And was that projectile similar to being fired from that AR that the state showed in the State's Exhibit 60 here?
Correct.
At any point in time, did you have an opportunity to speak with the parents of Secoriea Turner?
Yes, I interviewed the parents.
Tell me about that.
So I tried to give the parents, there's no time frame you can give a grieving parent, and it's really hard that first initial interview to interview them and get what I need. So, but I still needed to make contact. I got a preliminary statement from her, what she remembered and what she saw that night, her and her companion at that time.
And when you say her companion, who was that?
It's Omar Ivory.
And what did you learn from Miss Turner and Mr. Ivory about what occurred that night?
So they were at some relatives' house, friends, enjoying the 4th of July festivities. They were going to go to the liquor store. The only reason why Secoriea was in the vehicle because she wanted to go over to her cousin's house and play. They were en route to the liquor store when they drove up on the barricades.
Were they able to tell you whether or not they made it to the liquor store?
No, they were not able to make it to the liquor store.
And I'm going to show you what states. And why didn't they go to the liquor store?
The barricade is right up on the liquor store, and they just drove up on the barricade, and when they tried to drive around it, that's when the shooting occurred.
Did they make any statements in regards to whether or not the liquor store was open or closed?
I'm not.
States Exhibit 31.
So the liquor store is boarded up because of the riots that we talked about earlier from the Rayshard Brooks. So, of course, when you're driving up on it, it immediately looks like it's closed.
Were they able to give you any descriptions of the individuals that they saw at the barricade as they drove past that liquor store?
Yeah, so she told me she specifically said it was a male dressed in black, like a bounty hunter. He described the male wearing a white shirt. She also gave me a description of a light-skinned male with light dreads or some type of twist. And this is, as she's passing the barricade, this is what she's photographing in her mind as she's going by.
As they are passing the barricade, do you know what is going on the outside of that vehicle?
So on the outside of the vehicle, of course, you have multiple armed individuals with long rifles and pistols guarding the barricade and redirecting traffic as it comes to the barricade.
And what happens with Secoriea Turner and her mom and Mr. Ivory as they pass through that barricade?
So they drive up to the barricade, they drive around it. As they drive around it, my suspect, along with several other individuals, my suspect specifically raises his rifle and walks towards the vehicle. And as they...
The witnesses maybe approach?
Who's that person to them?
They had no idea who that person was.
But were they able to tell you what that person was doing?
Yes.
And what did that person do?
He shot into the vehicle multiple times for no reason.
And did they tell you what was going on inside that car as those shots started to come into the vehicle?
Yeah, so as soon as the shots started coming in, of course, it's like a sensory overload. They didn't realize what was going on. She heard Secoriea in the back seat jumping around, I guess trying to dodge the debris and the bullets that was coming in. She heard Secoriea scream, say, "Mama." At that point, she's halfway in the back seat trying to jump back there with her. Of course, she looks up in the back seat and she can see two individuals fire 2 more times.
Did you receive anything from Ms. Turner at that time during that conversation?
Not Ms. Turner, no. I didn't receive anything, just the information statement that she provided. She said that Omar, her companion at that time, may have had some information.
Did you ever receive identifying information about the victim's Secoriea Turner?
Yes, she provided me a photo. When I speak with the families, I ask for a photo. And the purpose of that is, of course, when I do my police bulletins.
was marked with State's Exhibit 122. Recognize that?
Yes, the bulletin I created from the photograph that Charmaine gave to me.
Is that a fair and accurate description of that bulletin that you created?
Yes.
Has there been any additions or any correction with that along now?
No.
Stated as State's Exhibit 122 being made in the thank you.
What number was that?
122. 123. 2.
No objection, Your Honor.
And what was the purpose of this bolo?
When we do bolos, of course, we're going to release it two places with the media, and then that's what I use when I go out and do my canvases to pass out and try to solicit information.
And you indicated that at some point in time, Omar had information for you.
Correct.
And what type of information was he able to provide?
Just information, second and third, fourth hand information. He had a poster of a social media post that was given to him with some individuals dressed in all black, already circled, saying these are the suspects. He could not confirm that these are the suspects, but he just wanted to pass that information along to me.
Was Charmaine and Omar attempting to help you find the person that had shot and killed Secoriea?
Yes, they were.
From that night, did you go back and listen to or look at anything else in regards to Charmaine and Omar, indication about the facts and what they did during the time and the moments in which Secoriea had been shot?
So, of course, the information they gave me, of course, when I get information from any witness, I like to corroborate it with other evidence. In this case, it's going to be video evidence that I collected.
And you said something about social media coming through and you receiving information in regards to this case. You said
Yeah.
social media, anything else?
When the picture in my bulletin went public with the news, we were flooded with tips and social media posts, and my city cell phone number I put on all my bulletins because I want the information firsthand, and I was constantly getting information from social media and of course through our Crime Stoppers.
Can you go back to State's Exhibit 122? Was there, at some point you said earlier on when you were out there doing the canvas, nobody was talking to you, you couldn't get any information. But once the bulletin came out, you started getting tips and information.
Yeah, so the thing about it, even when I went back to my follow-up canvas, it was zero on-record, in-person cooperation. Nobody was cooperating. However, I did get a lot of information through anonymous tips and things of that nature because nobody wanted to go on record at all because during that time frame and with it being so volatile with police, nobody wanted to cooperate.
Was there, due to the non-cooperation, was there a reward put in place?
Yes, the reward started climbing. On this particular bulletin, it says $20,000, but you combine that with private donations and things like that, I believe it got up to $50,000.
Sometimes when there's an award, does that incentivize people to want to come forward and be a witness?
Absolutely.
Do you know Ms. Sharika Williams?
Yes.
And did she at some point contact you and come forward?
So I was out on the canvas the following same day on the 5th. I ran into Ms. Williams who stated that her sons were shot, and they had firsthand information about what happened and what occurred.
Was Ms. Williams able to tell you where she was located out there on July? First of all, did she tell you where she was on July 4th?
They said that they were inside of the perimeter at some like a tent, and they were cooking out.
I'm going to pull up State's Exhibit number 34. Did she describe what that tent looked like?
It's like the tailgating tents where you put up. It's that type of tent.
are you able to see that tent that Ms. Williams indicated she was cooking out and barbecuing out there on July 4th?
Yes.
If you could just circle it on State's Exhibit 34. And I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 57B and shown. Do you recognize State's Exhibit number 57B?
Yes.
And what is depicted in State's Exhibit 57B?
These are going to be her sons, who she stated was shot and witnessed the incident.
Is that a fair and accurate depiction of them in that area on that night?
Yes.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit, has there been any deletions, additions, manipulation to State's Exhibit 57B?
No.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit 57B to be taken into.
No objection, Your Honor.
Is it good and you can produce it?
Are those the Williams boys?
Yes.
Did you speak to, let me tell you, the conversation with Ms. Williams, did you talk to her sons as well?
Yes, of course, if she's bringing me that kind of information that piqued my interest, I want to speak to her sons immediately. She advised me one of them was a juvenile, so I needed, of course, her consent. So I set up a time that I can meet with all three of them and talk.
And did that conversation and interview lead to anything significant in your investigation of the murder of Secoriea Turner?
No, their statements were greatly exaggerated. In fact, I was able to determine they were not shot. They were really not even injured, and their description of the events did not occur.
And how were you able to determine that?
From reviewing the security video.
Does the name Quentin Davis sound familiar?
Yes.
And did you speak to Quentin Davis in regards to this case?
Yes, this particular individual posted a post on Facebook that he witnessed or he had information and he may have recorded the incident. Of course, that piqued my interest. And I'm not surprised that I'm getting these type of tips, because when the case is high priority and a lot of people's interested in it and the reward is so high, we get information from everywhere.
I don't believe the witness is responding to a question.
I asked if you spoke to Mr. Quentin Davis and he was explaining how he gets information of people to then talk to.
Okay, I think his interest there, so I'm just moving to the next question.
So did, and did you speak with Mr. Davis?
I did, and I was able to determine that his post that he posted was incorrect. He did not witness or see anything.
Did you learn what type of vehicle Charmaine and Omar and Secoriea were traveling in as they went down University and those shots rang out into the car?
Yes, they had a 2016 Jeep Cherokee.
Did you learn where everybody was seated in that car as it passed by that barricade?
Yes.
Where were they seated?
So you had Omar was driving, Charmaine was in the front passenger seat, and Secoriea was in the back seat.
In what direction did they indicate they were going?
So they were driving towards east, and that was eastbound away from 75.
And you mentioned something about there were barricades they talked about at the time when they passed by. Did you ever learn where those barricades were located at the time of the shooting?
Yes.
And I'm going to refer you back to State's Exhibit 57. are located on that scene?
Yes, this is going to be the east barricade, which would be roughly here in this area.
And where was the west barricade?
You have to flip to the other picture.
And that's 57 B, 57 A.
I got it right. So the east barricade would be roughly in this area.
And are those the barricades that Charmaine and Omar encountered as they came up?
Yes,
Where the armed men were standing?
yes.
Were those legal barricades? Are they blocking off the road?
So legal in the fact that they were actually made to barricade and block off things, yes, but the barricade and the blocking off the street itself was illegal.
So the people that put those barricades there and those cones in the street had created an illegal point of entry and exit from that area.
Yes, they've created a legal makeshift barricade to block off the streets.
And I was asking you about the Jeep. Did you do anything in regards to the Jeep in which they were driving the Secoriea shop?
Yeah, so when they arrived at the hospital, as soon as I got that information, I delegated and asked another detective to respond to the hospital. Also have a crime scene tech and to photograph the vehicle as it is.
I'm going to show you first what's been marked as State's Exhibit 13. And can you tell us what's in State's Exhibit 13?
We're looking at the driver door. This driver door has a defect to it. Here.
Were there any more defects in the driver's door?
You have to go further along the vehicle, you'll find more defects.
Can you see that defect here?
Yes.
In State's Exhibit 16. And if you could erase those.
Oh.
And are there any defects in that part of the vehicle?
Yes.
And what part of the vehicle is that?
This is going to be the rear passenger door. This is where Secoriea was sitting.
Is that the passenger door or which side?
I'm sorry, the driver door.
And State's Exhibit 17? And what's depicted in State's Exhibit 17?
You have another defect to the rear driver side panel of the vehicle. So these are defects to the back of the vehicle.
In total, how many defects or how many gunshots did that car take?
8.
How many shell casings was found on the scene?
8.
How many 5.56 shell cases were found on the scene?
7.
How many 5.56 projectiles were recovered during the investigation of this case?
And 1 that was recovered from Secoriea Turner's back.
Did you do anything else to process this Jeep?
So once we,
I'm sorry, not you particularly, but did you direct or instruct someone to do something else?
yes, once the vehicle is processed, it's taken to what we call and secured in our homicide cage. And at that point, we secure search warrants to do further processing of the vehicle.
And what did you request to be processed?
GSR photographs.
And why did you ask for the car to be processed for GSR?
So in the beginning of the investigation, at that point in the investigation, I can't determine who's the primary aggressor. So I have to rule out everything and follow my evidence. So in order to rule that out, I need to make sure nobody inside of that vehicle fired off any kind of guns. So the GSR test would be able to tell me if a gunshot went off inside of that vehicle.
And to your knowledge, what was the results of that GSR testing?
Those negative results. That means no GSR, no gunshot residue was found inside the vehicle.
If a gun is, so you talked about it was fired inside the vehicle, you do GSR to determine if there was any gunshots inside that car.
Correct.
Do you do anything else to determine whether or not if there were gunshots outside of the car?
Yeah, so even if we have drive-bys all the time, if a hand is outside the window and they're firing, of course, the residue is coming back into the vehicle. So regardless if the gun was outside the vehicle or inside the vehicle, if that explosion from that shell casing or that bullet that's going off, it's gonna leave some type of residue. And there was negative residue.
If somebody is firing from a car inside that car, would you expect to find shell casings?
Yes, shell casings, correct.
Would you expect to maybe find projectiles?
Yes,
Would you expect to maybe find live rounds?
yes,
Would you maybe expect to find a gun?
yes.
To your knowledge, in this case, did you find any of those things inside that Jeep?
Nothing of that nature was inside that Jeep.
Were you able to find, as the gunshots were going inside that car, could you find projectiles in there as a result of it taking on gunfire?
No, was not able to find any projectiles that was from the vehicle being taken on gunfire.
In your experience, is that unusual?
That's not unusual at all.
Why not?
So, of course, when bullets or rounds hit particular objects, they change in direction. The flight, the path, the trajectory changes. The bullet itself explodes, and it's no longer a fragment or a projectile. It's basically just fragments instead of a projectile. So it explodes once it hits a hard surface like that.
And if it explodes as it's hitting a hard surface, if it goes into like the seats of the car, would you expect to be able to find that projectile or those fragments?
It'd be basically shrapnel at that point. Once it's going through those hard objects and hitting those soft objects, it'll be shrapnel unless it comes into like some type of tissue or something like that. They usually stay intact, which in this case was Secoriea.
Now, did you do anything, are you familiar with the term trajectory rods?
Yes.
What are those?
Trajectory rods are what we place inside of defects, and it just that it tells you the trajectory of the round, pretty much the flight path.
And upon your review of the vehicle, were you able to make a determination where the bullet entered that car that killed Secoriea Turner?
Yeah, so we can look at defects itself, and we can tell where the defects coming from the inside or the outside. All the defects came from the outside, and I've made the determination that there was no need for the trajectory rods because I had visual evidence from the cameras. Also, we can document it properly from the photographs from the crime scene text.
I'm going to ask you to look at State's Exhibit 96. What is depicted in State's Exhibit 96?
That's the back seat of the Jeep, and that is where Secoriea was sitting.
And what is indicated in the marker that says zero, O, the letter O?
That is a defect.
And would that have been the bullet that came through that seat and went into Secoriea?
Correct.
And State's Exhibit 99? What is in State's Exhibit 99?
That's going to also be the defect to the back seat.
Is that, and that's P, where it's marked as P?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, where did that bullet come from that struck Secoriea Turner in her back?
In the back of the vehicle.
And so would it travel, where would it have traveled from the back of the vehicle? Let me show you State's Exhibit number 74.
It would travel through that location and travel through the seat and hit Secoriea.
So we're talking about it hits A, it hits P, and comes out in O, and ends up in Secoriea.
Correct.
Let me show you, Stacy. When you talked to Charmaine, did she tell you anything about whether or not Secoriea was strapped in her seatbelt?
Yeah, she was strapped in. I believe she had a hard time trying to get her out when she was jumping back there trying to get her because she was jumping around, moving, and kind of got her sitting right there.
And I'm showing you Stacy exhibit number 68. Are you familiar how you latch a seatbelt and unlatch it?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, what area was Secoriea sitting in the car at the time that she was shot?
She was sitting right here with this void of blood stain. That's where she was sitting at. Her back was right up on where the defect is.
Where is the latch of the fastener for the seatbelt that would come from the driver's passenger side of that back seat to lock her in safely?
There's a latch right here to the right.
Can you zoom in some? They're doing it for you.
Okay.
How many latches do you see?
I see one latch, and it's here. It's not color's not working.
Do you see a second seatbelt?
I do. I see it.
About the first seatbelt you see?
Yeah.
If this is working, you might be able to take it.
Yes, ma'am. It seems like it's working now.
Nope. Where's that first seatbelt that you indicated? Where would that latch into?
It would latch over here to the buckle part here.
Is that where it normally should latch into, with your knowledge and experience of being in the car?
It should be a latch that goes here and buckles here.
Where I put this message, can you clear and show us that?
Yeah. So there should be this belt should go.
Make an X where it should go.
Okay. It should be a latch here.
If she's sitting from the passenger side and it comes across, which side should it be latching on?
She's sitting from the back passenger side. It's gonna come from the left down.
Do you see, you driven cars before? You can clear everything.
Okay.
Do you see that area kind of right beyond the yellow paper?
I do.
Before you get to that latch that's kind of sticking out.
I do.
What is that that's in there?
So that's a latch, but it's tucked down into the seat.
Is that normally where that first seatbelt should go?
Normally it is.
Now, we were talking about trajectory rods. And you indicated, did you request that in this case?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I didn't feel trajectory rides were needed in this case
Why not?
because I have video evidence to show where the shooter was standing, when the shooter was shooting. I had photographic evidence to document it, and I know that all the defects started from the outside going inside, and also the vehicle's moving. The person that's shooting is standing still. That throws the trajectory off. And also there's movement in the vehicle. So I believe that what I had already and how I was going to document it was enough to document it, to properly document it.
When is it best or, I guess, useful to use trajectory rods?
Trajectory rods are good to put in people that are deceased, fixed objects.
When you say people that are deceased, why is it important for people that are deceased?
Because, of course, they're no longer moving. The trajectory is different. It's different from a soft target than a hard target when that round hits. A fixed object, let's say this desk, if this fixed object was taken on gunfire, then that is a really good ideal time to use trajectory rods. But a moving vehicle, it can alter so much. It just didn't need for, because I had already the evidence to document it.
And you said the vehicle is moving,
Correct.
Secoriea is moving,
Yes.
and the shooter is stationary.
Stationary.
directory rods have assisted you in identifying the person that shot and killed Secoriea Turner?
No.
Tell us what you did next after having this Jeep processed as part of your investigation.
So at that point, of course, we have the Jeep taken to and secured in our cage. And at that time, at a later date and time, a search warrant will be obtained and we will go and do a further processing. That's what we just talked about the GSR and the photographs.
And I think earlier, did you receive any other evidence that may have been helpful in your investigation while you were out on that scene? Or directly once you received the information or evidence for you?
Yeah, so while I was doing my canvas, I was able to identify cameras on each of the businesses in that area, and those cameras had different vantage points, and I was able to have our Homeland Security go and secure those video cameras footage for me.
And where did you receive video surveillance from?
The package store, which is right across the street from that, was the BP, and the warehouse, which is in that same area. So 3 different locations and showing 3 different vantage points.
Not to bother my tech team because they probably know what I'm about. If you don't mind stepping down. Can you show the vantage points and where you see the video?
So we're in the package store, the BP, and the warehouse. Well, like I said, first barricade was in this area, second was in this area. So all 3 of these cameras captured this whole area.
Did you receive any surveillance from any other place besides the businesses in the area?
Yes, while viewing these video cameras, I was able to see a MARTA bus that drove directly up to the barricade. And I'm familiar with the MARTA buses from previous cases, and I know they have video. So I reached out to MARTA and requested their video from this particular bus.
And did you receive that video footage?
I did.
Now, does that video footage have timestamps on it that you observed?
Yes.
Okay. Was it at the time in which the shooting occurred?
Yes.
And did the stamps on the MARTA bus video reflect and were identical to the ones on the BP, All-American, and the warehouse?
No, the time is off. It wasn't the exact time. It was just off.
Is that sometimes common when you're getting surveillance from different areas?
That's normal. Sometimes when you have the years change over with daylight savings, a lot of their systems, owners change over. A lot of things happen to where the time doesn't catch up. In this particular instance, it's not unusual to have the time off.
And about how off was it?
I want to say the time reflected about 1800. So that's about 6 o'clock. So it's a couple of 2.5 hour difference, 3 hour difference.
To your knowledge of observing that video, did it appear how lighting now?
The lighting was dark, and it was consistent with the other lighting from the other camera views, that it was dark. It was dark.
Around what time was it?
About 9:46.
I've shown you what's been marked as Stacy Exhibit 107 through 113. Do you recognize Stacy 107 through 113?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you ever recognize Stacy 107 through 113?
That is the video that I obtained from MARTA.
Did you take what they call screenshots from the video?
Yes.
And are those photographs those screenshots that you took from the video?
Yes.
Has there been any manipulation, additions, or deletions to those photographs?
No.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit 107 through 113 be admitted to evidence.
Any objection? No objection, Your Honor.
I'll show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 107. Can you tell us what is depicted in State's 107?
Yes, it's the MARTA bus.
And where is the MARTA bus located in regards to where the shooting occurred?
If you look a little further to the left, you can see the barricade. I'm sorry, the right of the bus. If you're sitting on the bus, it'll be to the right. It is sitting in between, the actual bus is sitting between the package store and the BP gas station.
And there's a red circle on 6107. Who made that circle?
I did.
And State's Exhibit. Do you know what the MARTA bus was, did you talk to the MARTA driver?
No, I talked with the investigators with MARTA Police Department.
When you watched that video, what did it appear the MARTA driver was doing at this particular point?
The MARTA driver was trying to go through the barricade, was initially turned around.
And State's Exhibit 108. What are we looking at, State's Exhibit 108?
So the red arrow is pointing to my suspect, and this is as the MARTA bus is approaching the barricade, and that's going to be the west barricade.
And you said your suspect. What is the suspect that you had identified wearing?
He has on blue jeans, a very distinct red shirt with big white letters. He has a satchel around his arm, and he has an AR-15 that's dangling from his.
Now, why did that person become your suspect?
So as I continue to watch the video from different angles, I was able to track the suspect from the MARTA video going in reverse. So I was able to watch the MARTA video because everybody walked up to the barricade. At that time, I didn't know who was responsible, but I was able to track them because it gave me a landmark. As they approached the barricade, I went in reverse and watched it from different angles, and I was able to see the shooter, and I was able to then focus on the shooter.
And you said, is there another person standing next to that person in the red shirt with the white lettering?
That's correct. That's a black male with no shirt, and he's carrying a shotgun.
Were you ever able to identify that individual?
No.
State's Exhibit 109? What is in State's Exhibit 109?
The red circle is again circling my suspect with his unique clothing. I was easily able to track him and stand out because he's the only one wearing what he's wearing.
And State's, and where is that in regards to the crime scene?
So
I withdraw that question. Are those the barricades and cones that you were talking about that they had set up that illegal barricade?
yes,
Are you able to see, I'm gonna call that the first set of barricades. Are you able to see the second set of barricades in State's Exhibit 109?
I am.
And where are those at?
That's roughly going towards the east when I call it the east barricade. That's the second barricade.
And State's Exhibit 110? And what are we looking at? Actually, go back to 109, I'm sorry. Do you see other individuals within the circle? Do you see anyone else outside of that circle? Are you able to identify anybody outside of that circle?
No, just the male with no shirt on with the shotgun, and of course my suspect.
And then 110. Are you able to, what do we see in State's Exhibit 110?
So this is the MARTA bus as it's approaching the autonomous zone. These are just random individuals pointing firearms at the bus as it approaches.
How many individuals are depicted in State's 110?
3.
Let's talk about the first one. Are you able to identify what they're wearing?
No.
And can you just put a one, touch the screen again so we'll
Okay.
make sure that we're talking about the same person?
That's one.
Are you able to make out a little bit of what that individual is wearing?
Not really. I see the rifle. Not really.
And the second one?
2.
And are you able to make out anything about number 2?
No.
Is that person armed?
Yes.
And number 3? Are you able to make out anything about that particular person?
No.
Is that individual armed?
Yes.
If you had been able to make identification of those individuals, would they, the tracking that you talked about your suspects, would you have tracked them as well?
Yes.
Because at this point, who are you looking for?
I'm looking for the shooter.
Can you tell us what's depicted in States 111?
Yes, so that's going to be my suspect that's circled in the red.
And what is he wearing?
He's wearing his distinctive standout red shirt. He has a satchel, AR-15 hanging from his waist, and blue jeans. And he also has a do-rag on and with twist of dreads coming from the bottom.
And at that point, are you able to get a clear vision of that person's face?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 112. Can you tell us what's depicted in State's Exhibit 112?
These are close-up views of my suspect. Same distinctive clothing. You get a close-up view of his rifle that he's carrying, the satchel, the red shirt, the blue jeans, the wrap do-rag on his head with the dreads, hairstyle.
And State's Exhibit 113.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 113.
My suspect again, distinctive red shirt, white letters on the back, AR-15 hanging down, a satchel. That's at the right circle. The left circle is somebody else identified in charge. He's wearing a white T-shirt, pants, and he has his rifle in his hand also.
Are you able to see anyone else in that photograph that you were able to get a clear vision of?
No.
Can you go back to 112? As any time during the point of your investigation, were you able to identify this person that is clearly shown in State's Exhibit 112?
Yes.
Who did you identify that person to be?
Julian Conley.
And do you see that person seated here in court today?
Yes.
And if you could, please identify him for the record.
Sitting in the middle of his council, blue tie, blue jacket on, blue shirt. He has his hair cut this time though.
Did you review any other video footage in that area?
Yes, so of course all the video cameras that we pulled from the each store, and I also from the MARTA bus.
And I want to talk about the All-American package store. Can you tell us, did you review video surveillance in that case?
Yes, I did.
And in that case, were you able to get different angles of what was going on in the parking lot of the All-American package store?
Yes.
What time did you observe any illegal activity going on in that parking lot?
Yes, I observed what now my suspect and another suspect pointing their rifles at a couple that just drove through the barricade.
Let me ask you, that MARTA bus, do you recall what the time was that you were able to capture those videos and images of the defendant?
I believe it was 9:30 or something around that time. It was close to the time of the incident, within the hour.
I'm going to pull back up 107 and see if you see that.
Okay. Yeah, so the time is 21:14, which is 9:14.
And that's when the MARTA bus is in the area being turned around.
Yes, correct.
And that's when this defendant is at the MARTA, that's where the driver is, where you would normally get in the car?
Yes.
You have to get onto the bus.
Yes.
And you indicated that you observed another incident in front of that All-American package store.
Yes, I want to say about 9:39, a couple was assaulted as they tried to go through the barricade.
And were you able to capture the individuals that assaulted that couple?
Yes.
And was one of those individuals, were one of those individuals the same individuals that you observed in that MARTA bus video?
Yes, he was my suspect with the red shirt on who identified as Julian Conley.
And what about the other individual that was caught by the MARTA bus?
Yes, I was able to identify him. His name was Jerry McKinney.
States Exhibit. One 14 through 116. And you said it was about, the Martin bus incident occurred around 9:14, and this incident occurred around 9:30 something?
Yes, I believe 9:39.
So I was back over. How many minutes is that?
14 minus 39.
So the law enforcement thing is not just.
Nah. Nah.
Would it be fair to say it's less than 30 minutes?
Yes, correct.
If you could look at State's Exhibits 111 and 116, do you recognize those?
114 and 116.
114 and 116.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how are you able to recognize those?
So in the 114, that's going to be circled of the McCords. They were victims of this assault. And in 116, the circle is going to be Julian Conley pointing his rifle.
Is that a fair, is State's Exhibit 114 through 116 a fair and accurate depiction of what was observed by you on that video?
Yes.
Has there been any deletions, additions, alterations made to those photographs?
No.
Are those screen snaps or screenshots that you took from the video?
Yes.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit 114 through 116.
No objection, Your Honor.
If they may differ, if they may differ in color. Yes. And can you tell us what is depicted in State's Exhibit 114?
Yes, this is Mr. McCord and his wife, Miss McCord. They're exchanging words after they had the weapons pointed at them, and they drove through the barricade. They pulled over into the parking lot.
At the time when you observed this video, did you know the identification of those individuals?
No.
And if you would look at the top of the screen, are you able to see a timestamp on there?
Should be 2139. Yes, I'm sorry, 939.
How were you able to identify the couple in that photograph?
They called 911 when I was researching the 911 calls for my incident. Of course, after watching the video, I asked our operator to research any other 911 calls, and she found one.
And were you able to make contact with the McCoys?
Yes.
And did you interview them?
Yes.
And what did you learn during the course of your interview with them?
I said Mr. McCord stated he and his wife were, they live in the area, not too far from this location. They were on their way home. They drove up to the roadblock, and they was encountered by a male with no shirt on, with a shotgun, and my suspect with the red shirt.
Were you able to learn where they first encountered those armed men?
Yes, it was just off camera at the, let's say, the second barricade.
And I'm showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 118. You recognize State's Exhibit 118?
Yes.
Is it fairly and accurately, what is it? I'm sorry.
So it's going to be the vantage point from the BP, and the arrow is pointing to that barricade.
And does that fairly and accurately depict what you observed from that video surveillance from the BP?
Yes, it does.
Has there been any alterations, deletions, manipulations in State's Exhibit 118?
No.
State Potential State's Exhibit 118.
No objection, Your Honor.
And can you circle that barricade that you indicated? And in your investigation and conversation with the McCoys, were they able to make it past that first barricade?
Yes, they were able to make it past it. and that's when they pulled into the parking lot.
Is there some portion of the interaction that the McCords had with, first of all, what did the McCords tell you happened once they approached that barricade?
So you said he was approached. Standing on the driver's side was who I identified as Julian Conley now. The male with the shotgun was standing, I believe, in front of his vehicle. They told him that he needed to turn around. He expressed to them that he lives in the area. He said that the male in the red shirt, which he later identified as Julian Conley, said that you're being disrespectful. So at that point, he drove off into the parking lot and continued to exchange words with them.
At this time, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 2. Can you tell us what we are looking at in State's Exhibit 2 that's already been admitted into evidence?
Yeah, so this is going to be the, I guess you would say, the northeast corner of the American Package Store. This is looking, if you look straight ahead, you're going to see the BP parking lot. If you look down further to the right, the barricade is just out of view.
And what's that time step on there?
2137.
And what are we observing at this point?
You're seeing vehicles drive through the area.
Are you able to recognize whose vehicle that is?
Yes, that's Mr. McCord's vehicle.
At some point in time, are they headed towards where those barricades are located?
Yes, they're going to be going westbound, and they should go westbound and turn into the parking lot of the package store.
I'm going to try to make this go along a little faster so we'll rewind. And Your Honor, we are skipping past to make this move along a little bit faster rather than waiting, because I'll ask Detective Shepard, are they down and out of camera view for some period of time?
Yes, they are.
And the state is going to start at 2139:20 on exhibit number 2, which is the raw footage of all the surveillance cameras that were taken from the surveillance areas already.
This tech is not as sharp. I'm going to start at 21:39:12 for the record. So 20 seconds later.
And you see Mr. McCord's vehicle coming in frame.
And where are they pulling into?
They're pulling into the package store parking lot.
And if we could skip to, well, I'll let you know. What, if anything, is occurring?
So what's going on off camera is what you see, what we saw earlier, them getting out of their vehicle, exchanging words, but you can't see it because they're in the parking lot because this angle is looking down.
What, if anything, do you observe in State's Exhibit number 2 at at timestamp 21:39:52.
You see a male approaching from the bottom right. He's brandishing a firearm, walking up to the vehicle.
Were you ever able to identify who that person was?
No,
Did you ever get a clear view of him like you did of the defendant?
no,
Or Mr. McKinney?
no.
What is happening at this time?
So at the top of the screen, you see my suspect, Julian Conley, coming into frame, pointing his AR-15.
And what's the timestamp on State's Exhibit number 2 of All-American Raw footage video?
21:40:21.
And what is depicted at that timestamp?
You see Julian Conley approaching the McCords while they're in the parking lot with his rifle pointed at them.
Did Hero go back to get the jury? Did you see Hero go back? Yes. Okay. We'll put the exhibit back on the screen that was up when the objection happened. Right over here with this so I can look at them. So if you guys want to let your other witnesses go until Monday, that's okay with me. You don't have to make them sit here. You did? Okay.
So, I guess I need to tell my witnesses on Tuesday.
So how many will you have left on Monday, do you think? A cross of this witness? Tuesday?
Probably be done Monday afternoon, that's what I think.
That's
This
fine.
is the real-
Tuesday. We're ready.
All right, for the jury.
Okay, members, you can be seated. Members of the jury, I have a brief instruction to read you. Can you all hear me well? I'm sorry, I can't look at all of you, but I won't be on the microphone if I move past this computer. All right, the witness has identified the individual in Exhibits 111 and 112 as the defendant Julian Conley. The witness is permitted to identify the defendant by name with respect to those two exhibits. During his testimony, Detective Shepard will also be permitted to describe an individual whose face is obscured or not in focus as having an appearance consistent with the individual he identified in Exhibits 111 and 112. To the extent that the detective used the defendant's name just before the break in reference to a photograph in which his face was not visible, you are to disregard the improper use of the defendant's name in that instance. You, the jury, and only you, will decide whether identification has been proven through the evidence presented by the state in this trial. Okay, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we can start with the State's Exhibit number 2 at timestamp for 21. All-American Package Store. I think I left off. We're stopping at States at 2 at timestamp 2140, 24. Do you see any individuals in this timestamp screenshot with weapons?
Yes, I do.
If you could please circle that individual. And could you describe what he's wearing and what he's doing for members of the jury?
Look like he's wearing blue jeans. He's pointing a rifle and some sort of vest. Like,
Were you ever able to, in regards to this individual, get an unobscured, clear photograph or image of this individual with this handgun at any time in your investigation?
no, I was not.
If you were ever able to get a clear image of that individual, what would you have done?
He would have been charged.
What would you have charged him with?
Party to the crime, murder.
In regards to who are the victims in this particular incident?
So in this particular incident, they're walking from the barricade towards the McCords.
In regards to this individual, were there any charges in regards to the McCoy?
Yes, he would have been. If I would have been able to identify this individual, he would have been charged with aggravated assault.
This other individual is there another individual in this timestamp of 2040, 25?
That's the only individual I see with a gun. Okay, I see another individual walking towards the barricade with the gun. And I also see the subject that my suspect dressed in the distinctive red shirt, carrying a satchel, AR-15 hanging down. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
The individual that's depicted in State's Exhibit 21 at 2 at 2140-36. Can you describe what that individual is wearing?
Yes, ma'am. He has a distinctive red shirt on. The back of the red shirt, he has bright white colors, white lettering. He has a black satchel and an AR-15 pistol hanging from his satchel, and he's wearing light and color pants.
Is that description of what that individual is wearing consistent to the individual that you identified in State's Exhibit 112 and 111?
Correct.
Can you tell us what's going on right now?
So at this point, on the other side, that we can't see the McCords are getting ready to drive away. Again, we see the suspect wearing the bright red shirt, white letters, blue jeans, carrying the satchel and the AR-15 hanging from his side, walking back to that driveway, to that parking lot.
If you could just circle what you're talking about. And do you see other individuals at this timestamp for 2140-39?
There's an individual in front of him also walking.
Were you ever able to get a clear identification of any of these other, first of all, how many other people do you see in this timestamp screen?
In this timestamp screen, I still see the one that was had the handgun. He's walking back away from the parking lot. My suspect.
All right, disregard the use of the name.
Your Honor, I would ask for a mistrial.
Okay, would you guys step up?
All right, to the jury.
clear that it was unintentional. It is very difficult because he knows who he is identified. He knows that this individual is the person that he believes to be Julian Conley based on the identification for 112. He immediately said, "I'm sorry, my bad." It shows that it's not intentional. It's human nature. He's trying, Your Honor, but I think you asked him to disregard it. They haven't indicated, they should follow the court's instruction.
Your Honor, the fact that the jury is responsible for determining who they think is on the video, the witness has been giving conclusion after conclusion when he's asked questions to influence the jury in believing, taking his opinion based on what's in the video, and giving that instruction, telling the witness not to give his opinion about who is on the video is not difficult. He's an officer who has been an officer for 20 years. He knows what he's supposed to not say, and the court has just instructed him on what he should not say. And so in terms of making a mistake in front of the jury on 3 different occasions, it can't be anything but intentional at this point.
Okay, his job is to come in and explain to the jury why he arrested your client and why he suspected your client. This is a very challenging field with Brad because we're letting him say the suspect and not the defendant's name. It appeared to me completely unintentional, but that said, do we need to quit for the day so he'll be squared away for Monday?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
So I'm going to deny the motion for this trial and give him a chance to rest and really absorb how he we're ready for the jury.
All right, for the jury. Jury, is that kind of for?
Better? Okay. To the extent that the defendant's name is used specifically in identifying exhibits that are not 111 or 112, you're to disregard the use of his name. And ultimately, you and only you will decide whether the defendant has been identified. Okay, go right ahead.
I think we stopped there at timestamp 21:40:39. I'm going to show you what's been marked as 112. In states 112, is that the same person that you just identified at timestamp 20:40:39 in states exhibit 2?
Yes.
And you know that person to be whom? In states exhibit 112.
Julian Conley.
Is the defendant Julian Conley wearing the same clothing as the person that's depicted in states 2 at 21:40:39?
Yes.
Is that red shirt,
Red shirt,
light jeans,
light jeans,
black backpack, black do-rag, black shoes,
correct. With the
AR-15 swinging on the side?
correct.
And we're going to go back to states exhibit number 2, starting at the timestamp of 21:40:39. Were you able to identify any other suspects in states exhibit 2 marked at 21:40:46?
No, just one suspect I was able to identify.
Do you see the person in the white at the top of the screen?
Yes, I do.
And at some point during the course of your investigation, is that person wearing the same outfit that you observed the second suspect at the MARTA bus video?
Yes, the subject that's further to the left, my left, is
Please surface, I don't know what
okay.
you're talking about.
The subject right here I was able to identify.
And were you able to identify him from the MARTA bus image that you had received of that person?
The MARTA bus image and also another camera that he walked past at the liquor store. Walked right in front of the camera.
At some point in time, I think you indicated that you had received images and video surveillance from various different angles from the cameras. At some point in time, did you make a compilation of all of those different vantage points around the same time stamp?
Yes, I put all the video angles and made it like a puzzle and put them all together so you can see it at different vantage points at the same time.
And are those vantage points that we talked about, the BP, the All-American, and the warehouse?
Correct.
Then published to the jury, State's Exhibit 2. And in making that compilation, did you make any markings or anything to identify the suspects that you were, that were circles of interest in the aggravated assault against the McCoy?
Yes, I was able to circle them with different color circles.
And those individuals that you circled, what was the description of the clothing that they were wearing?
Suspect 1, bright red shirt, white letters on the back, a satchel, AR-15 hanging from the side, blue jeans, do-rag, and dread-like twists coming from his hair. Suspect number 2, white shirt, blue jeans on, and he was also carrying an AR-15 style pistol or rifle.
At this vantage point, can you tell, ladies and gentlemen of the jury in State's Exhibit 2, are there 4 different camera views?
Yes, so the bottom right corner is from the BP gas station. The top right corner is from the package store. The top left corner is from that northeast corner of the package store. The bottom left corner is the further, like the west part of the building of the package store.
And on that bottom right corner, is there a circle there?
Yes, that's going to be circled my suspect number 2 in the yellow circle. And which you can see him in both angles.
Is that the McCord's car circled in green?
Yes, it is. And this is when they're driving westbound and pulling into the parking lot of the package store, which you're going to see in the top right-hand corner.
In that bottom camera angle, is that suspect 2 appearing back in the screen?
Yes, he's going to be circled in the yellow circle, which is across the street again at the BP station.
What direction is he headed towards?
He's headed toward the parking lot of the package store.
Mr. McCord is having what appears to be a
He-
heated conversation
he's,
with someone.
yes, he's having a verbal exchange with the gentleman he just drove through the barricade at.
In what direction is that gentleman? Was that first video that we saw with those individuals coming by that, where the trash can was in State's Exhibit 2, around that 21:20:39 timestamp?
Yeah, so the view that we were previously looking at, that's the backside view. And when you saw them walking towards the parking lot, this is the actual parking lot that they're walking towards. At the bottom right-hand corner, you see suspect number 1 that's wearing the red shirt, bright white letters on the back, satchel, blue jeans, AR-15 on the side. He's circled in the red.
What direction is he headed now?
He is also heading westbound toward the package store.
And is that where we see McCord's outside of the car this time?
Correct. The barricade is just behind him. The top left-hand corner, that's the backside. The yellow circle, that's going to be suspect number 2.
Has suspect number 1 peered into the
Yeah.
screen?
Suspect number 1 wearing a red shirt, bright letters, white letters on the back, AR-15 hanging, the satchel on the side. He's circled in red.
Is the AR hanging right now?
No, he has it raised and pointed
What direction is it pointing?
towards the McCoys. Do you see both individuals going back towards the barricade?
And here, do you see your suspect number 1 circled in red?
Yeah, suspect number 1 wearing a red shirt, white letters, AR-15 hanging on the side, the satchel. He's pointing towards the parking lot, where suspect number 2 is diverting his attention back to the parking lot. Suspect number 2 is in the yellow circle.
What direction is suspect 2 now heading?
Suspect number 2 is going back through the parking lot in a direction the McCoys had just retreated in.
And is that the direction that suspect number 1 is heading towards?
Correct. And you see suspect number 2 walking back towards the barricade.
And where is suspect 2 heading towards now?
Suspect number 2 is heading back to the barricade where they just left.
Suspect 2 appear back in the screen at this point?
Yes, suspect number 2 is circled in the yellow, is walking back to the BP parking lot.
Do you recall what time this is?
I believe it's 2140, maybe close to 2141 now.
As a result of what you observed in State's Exhibit number 2, the video compilation, did you do anything next as part of your investigation?
Yes, I took screenshots of those videos of the subjects who walked in front of the camera, and I completed a police bulletin of them.
What's a police bulletin?
This is where we create to get to the media and also give out on the canvas when we're doing our canvas trying to talk to witnesses. And we do that to try to solicit information.
And is that what's in State's Exhibit 123 through 125? Are those lolos that you created?
Yes.
And do they fairly and accurately depict the lolos that you created?
Yes.
Any additions made to them?
No, everything's the same.
Any deletions?
No,
Any manipulation?
no.
Say that's State's Exhibit 123 through 125, being intact.
Objection.
No objection.
Okay, they're admitted and you can display.
Is this your suspect number 2 that's in State's Exhibit 123?
Yes, that's suspect number 2.
What's in his hand?
It's the AR-15 rifle.
And what's the reward amount that's listed at this time?
It's been growing as the investigation goes on. It was at that point $20,000.
And States Exhibit 124.
State 24 is going to be suspect number 2, and also we have the victim, Secoriea Turner.
In States Exhibit number 125, what photograph did you use to make that bolo?
This State Exhibit 125, that bolo was taken from the Martyr video.
And would that be the same photograph that is in States Exhibit 112?
Correct.
And were you able to make an identification of that individual?
Yes.
And who did you identify from States Exhibit 125 and 112 to be?
Julian Conley.
At some point, did you learn the name of suspect number 2?
Yes.
How did you learn his name?
I got a call from a lady who said that she just got back from out of town. Her son was on the news, and she wanted to come down and clear his name.
And did they come down?
Yes.
Who came down?
It was suspect number 2 and his mother.
And at that time, did you learn his name?
I did.
Okay.
Correct.
And what was that name?
Jerry and McKinney.
And did you interview Jerry McKinney?
I did.
Reading his Miranda rights?
Yes.
And what did you learn about the incident during the interview with Jerry McKinney?
So Jerry McKinney gave a statement, stated that he did not know any of the individuals that he was speaking with on video at the barricades. He stated that he was down there doing a celebration, and he was not at the barricade when of course, when the Secoria's Jeep drove through.
Did he identify himself as being the person in States Exhibit 124?
He did.
Did he identify himself as being the person holding this long gun or assault rifle
Yes.
out there on July 4th of 2020?
Yes.
Did he identify himself as being the person wearing that white shirt and black jeans?
Yes.
Was he able to give you the identification of any other individuals out there?
No.
Did he admit to having a weapon?
At that time, he said that his weapon was stolen. He also stated that he went to the Edgewood area right after this incident, and someone broke into his car and stole his AR-15.
And is that Edgewood area, is that the area where you indicated that you were involved in an investigation where there was a shooting where 16 people were shot and 2 people were killed?
Correct.
And he indicated that he went down there with that assault rifle?
Correct.
So we looked at the video from the All-American. Did you have any other videos that you reviewed?
Yes. Of course, we had the BP and the warehouse video, 100 University.
In those videos, were you able to observe the shooting of the Jeep that Secoriea, Charmaine, and Omar were riding in?
Yes.
And what did you observe? What vantage point were you observing where you were able to observe that shooting?
So the compilation that I was explaining that was put together like a puzzle, it covers all vantage points. And there's no blind spot, so you have the package store vantage point, so we'll be just looking across the street from the BP, and the warehouse, which covers the backside of the vantage point.
Did they have a time stamp on that?
Yes.
Videos? What time do you observe that Jeep passing through that barricade?
I believe it was approximately 21:46 hours.
In real time?
I'm sorry, 9:46 p.m.
And how much time had passed between the assault between the McCords and when you see this Jeep passing through the surveillance cameras from the different vantage points?
Less than 4 minutes, approximately.
Can you tell us about exactly what you observed as that Jeep drove through that area?
So after watching the video, I observed and confirmed that suspect number 2 did walk away from the barricade. However, suspect number 1 stayed at the barricade. From that vantage point, I was able to identify suspect number 1 from his bright red shirt, satchel, blue jeans, AR-15 hanging from the side. The Jeep drove through. He and about 3 or 4 other armed individuals trying to stop the vehicle. As the vehicle passed, suspect number one fired his assault rifle multiple times inside the vehicle. As the vehicle passed, there's 2 or 3 more bursts where he shot as the vehicle was driving away, which one of those rounds struck Secoriea.
Was there any other individuals standing at that barricade as the Jeep went through?
Yes.
Can you describe what they were wearing, if anything?
So they had dark color clothes on. I couldn't make their identification, and that's about it with those. I couldn't identify them.
Were they armed?
Yes.
Was that consistent with what Omar and Charmaine had told you about seeing individuals in all black or dark clothing at the barricades with weapons as they drove through?
Yes, that is consistent.
Were you ever able to give an identification of those other individuals that were standing at the barricade? How many, did you say 2 or 3?
I would say roughly 2 to 3.
Were you able to get any identification of those other 2 or 3 individuals standing at the barricade?
No.
So I want to be clear, you had 2 or 3 other individuals, they're dressed in all black, and they're armed.
Correct.
Objection, Your Honor, ask and answer.
Okay, it's just clarifying. He can answer that question and then move on.
And there's one other suspect standing there with red shirt on?
The suspect number one was there with his bright red shirt, satchel, AR-15, blue jeans, white letters on the back of that red shirt.
When you observed that Jeep going through, did you observe anybody being hit by the Jeep that Omar was driving and that was Secoriea was sitting in that back seat?
No one was hit.
Did you see anybody fall to the ground and get up shooting?
Nobody fell to the ground and started shooting.
How many people were shooting at that vehicle as it passed by?
Suspect number one definitely shot. It is observed. And as the vehicle is driving away, you see another shot within that group. It's from like a distant shot that just goes off very quickly. And that's the only burst that I see in that area, in that group.
Mr. Ravis, maybe I need you to lift it for me.
I think I can handle it. May not be as strong as Mr. Reyes.
She wasn't trying to imply anything.
As the vehicle is passing by and going through the barricade, what side was suspect number one standing on?
On the driver,
If this is the driver's side, this is the passenger side.
the driver's side.
And so suspect one is standing over here.
Correct.
As the car is moving, are shots being fired into that car?
Yes.
So that it's moving vehicle, if Mr. Biden was moving around, he was moving a little bit.
Correct.
Hard to determine the trajectory wise,
Correct.
the path of that movement.
Correct.
At some point, as it's passing by, are there defects and bullet holes being entered into that driver's side?
Yes, the defects was consistent with the pattern of the vehicle was being driven, and as it passed, it also stayed consistent with those 2 bursts that we see, suspect number one, which entered the back of the vehicle.
And so at some point it gets past and the back of the vehicle is in front of suspect number one?
Correct.
And that's that suspect that had on a red shirt, white leather, light jeans, dark shoe, do-rag.
With the dreads hanging from the side and AR-15.
At that point, is that AR-15 hanging?
It was, but at that point, as they drove through, he raised his AR-15, and as the vehicle drove through, he began to shoot.
Did you notice as that vehicle is passing through the barricade, anyone on the passenger side of that vehicle?
Yes.
What did you notice?
The windows were rolled up. They were just occupying the vehicle and being driven normally.
Did you ever see any shots being fired out of that vehicle?
No, none.
marked as State's Exhibit 119, 120, 121, 121A, and 121B. If you could look at those and tell me if you recognize them.
Yes.
And do they fairly and accurate, what are they, first of all?
This is going to be the Exhibit 119 is going to be the vantage point from the warehouse, the backside vantage point. Exhibit 120 is going to be when the actual Secoria's Jeep is driving past the barricade. 121B is Secoria's Jeep going to the barricade, and you see a slither of suspect number 1 standing at the barricade. Exhibit 121A is a close-up view of what we already talked about, the vehicle being driven by and shot. And 121, Exhibit 121 is showing the muzzle flash as the vehicle's driving by from suspect number 1.
And the State's Exhibit 119 through 121A, are they a fair and accurate depiction of what you observed on that video?
Yes, it is.
And are these screenshots like we talked about before that you grabbed from the video as you were looking at it?
Yes.
Have there been any additions, deletions,
No.
alterations,
None.
manipulations made to those?
None.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit 119 through 121A be admitted into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, they're admitted and you can publish.
Can you tell us what we are looking at in State's Exhibit 119?
Yeah, so the red circle is circled around Secoria's Jeep that she was riding in. The red arrow is pointing towards suspect number 1.
Are you able to see the clothing that you had described, those light jeans and red shirt?
On the live video, yes, you're able to see it. What you see in the arrow is pointed, that's the AR-15 kind of peeking out from behind that tree.
And what's the timestamp on State's Exhibit 119?
9:46.
And State's Exhibit number 120, what's depicted in that?
That is Secoria's Jeep driving past suspect number 1 and the other armed individuals at the barricade.
Now, in State's Exhibit 120, do you see that area that we talked about in State's 57B where the Williams family was?
Yes.
Can you please circle where that is? On the Jeep, are the windows up or down?
They're up.
State's Exhibit 121. You could, what's depicted in State's 121?
So this is a continuing motion of the Jeep with Secoria in it that's continue to drive.
Do you see the individual that you have described as being suspect number 1 in State's Exhibit 121?
Yes.
Is that individual wearing the same light colored jeans, dark colored shirt?
Yes, light color blue jeans, red shirt, bright red shirt, white letters on the back, satchel on the side, carrying the AR-15.
What is he doing? Suspect number 1, what are they doing right now?
At this particular picture, at this exact moment, he's shooting in the side of the vehicle, and as it passes, he fires 2 more times.
Are you able to see when the shot is fired from that weapon?
Yes, if you look closely, you can see the muzzle flash.
Can you please circle that for me, ladies and gentlemen? And the other individuals, are they depicted that was at the barricade? Are they depicted there?
Yes.
Is anybody on the ground?
Nobody's on the ground.
What kind of clothing are they wearing?
Dark color clothing.
I'm gonna go to State's Exhibit 121B. Can you tell? What is the feature in State's 121B?
So this is Secoria's Jeep that's driving through the barricade. And if you look a little bit left to the barricade, you can see suspect one's light color pants.
If you could circle suspect one's black on pants. What direction is suspect one headed towards?
Suspect one is facing, if you look on that intersection, you're facing towards 75, which is west. Secoria's Jeep is going east, so they're crisscrossing that way.
And would that be the right side, the driver's side of the vehicle?
Yes, that's the driver's side of the vehicle.
Is the suspect walking away from the vehicle?
He's walking towards the vehicle.
And State's Exhibit 121A. Can you tell us what's depicted in State's Exhibit 121A?
Yeah, so suspect number one wearing a bright red shirt, blue jeans, satchel, AR-15. He is raising his AR-15 at this moment as Secoria's vehicle is approaching.
Can you please circle? That's suspect number one. And is that the same clothing that the individual was wearing in State's Exhibit 112?
Yes.
And as the vehicle is coming through, do they drive through the barricade?
No, they drive around the barricade.
What did it appear they were doing? Like, did they move around? Did it drive straight? What did the vehicle have to do that you observed in the video?
So the vehicle just appeared to drive around the barricade and continue driving eastbound on University.
Did the Jeep kind of go up on the curb?
A little bit because it had to avoid the barricade.
And we're going to go back to State's Exhibit number 2. State's Exhibit number 2, what vantage point was depicted in this video before you?
It's going to be the backside. It's going to be the warehouse vantage point.
And what's the timestamp?
It is 9:45.
And are you able to see those 3 individuals in black at the barricade in this portion of the video?
Yes.
taken on fire at this point?
Yes.
Are you able to observe, what are muzzle flashes?
Muzzle flash is when it's like an expellant of the explosion from the gunpowder when the gunshot is, when the firing pin hits the shell casing, it explodes and causes a muzzle flash.
And is that muzzle flash coming from the gun that suspect number one that you described wearing that red shirt, light blue jeans, black shoes, and do-rag?
Yes.
And was that AR-15 similar to the one that said 60M?
Yes.
At this point, is there any violation of laws for what the Jeep driving through that barricade?
No violation whatsoever.
And for purposes of time, Your Honor, we'll skip ahead for the time stamp to 9:45.
Okay, thank you. Of exhibit number,
Exhibit number 2, so raw footage from the warehouse location?
Yes, correct.
okay, thank you.
And what vantage point are we looking at right now in State's Exhibit number 2, marked time stamp 9:45:08?
So this is the second camera from the warehouse, and it's covering the backside barricade. The top of the screen, that's where the Jeep drives through.
Let me ask you, in this vantage point, are there individuals at that backside of the barricade?
Yes, it is.
And what clothing are they wearing?
I see 2 white T-shirts, but the rest of them have dark color clothes on.
Were you ever able to identify any of